Hello, this is Arcades, and welcome back. It's time for the next installment for working on my offload dock. And last time we got to this. We managed to get some bollards in. We managed to get a basic gantry setup put on, and we have the tank. And I detailed this tank right here. I think I'm gonna do some adjustments to here, but the main plan for today's work is we're going to try to add in some of the plumbing. I want to move this tank. I want to turn it 90 degrees because I picked up something from somebody I know, and I want to add it to the tank. So we're going to work on this some more, and I want to get this copied over and to replace these two. Find a more permanent place. These were kind of placed randomly, so I want to actually get a more asymmetric placement, or symmetrical placement, I should say. And yeah, so goals for today. We're going to finish tidying up some of the tanks, put down, adjust some of the, puts in some plumbing, and hopefully make some decent progress. I want to be able to hopefully start being able to transfer some fluid if I wanted to. So, yep, that's the goal for today, and let's see how far we get. Okay, so I'm back here in the workbench, and we have our thing here. Now, something I picked up with the workshop is I asked somebody to XML edit a dial for me, and I want to put this on the side of the tank to act as a visible gauge. However, to make it face towards the water, we're going to have to turn the tank 90 degrees. So let me do that real quick, and then we will try to install this. Okay, so we got the tank 90 degrees. Now we're going to get this installed in. And we'll just grab that. Cut there, since it is an XML part. You got to find that source part. And we're going to bring it forward. I'm going to worry about fixing how it looks in a moment. Because it may have to adjust the interior of the tank. Yeah. Because obviously I can't leave it like that or the tank won't hold any fluids. So I'm going to grab from here to here. And it should create a sealing surface that we need. Copy that. Paste that. Merge that. Now we've got this right here. We're going to take the fluid level and put it onto there and to there. Now I should have filled in the holes. Yeah, looks like I did. So I need a spawner now. For temporary. That works. And so the capacity is 57,281. Okay, so we're going to take that value. We're going to come to here. Put the fluid level. Minimum value of 0. Maximum, it was what? 577,281. It was like 0.25 or something like that. That's not a huge deal. And there we go. And I think it's actually pretty proportional to this, so I will keep that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to test how it looks emptying. So we're going to create a temporary situation to foster that. So I need a door. Grab the hinge hatch. Like that. See, it's full. To be honest, I thought that was going to be a little faster than that. But yeah, so we can see. Looks like there isn't too big of an issue with. So we have our gauges. Now we need to start some of our plumbing. Oh yeah, I did want to rework these. After sitting there and look at them for a while, it's like I want to make them diagonal, but oops, took too much off. Okay, I think I got the railing on. It feels more symmetrical. It feels a hell of a lot better for this. I might expand it out a little later, but for right now, I think that's what I'm going to run with. Because I also got to take in consideration we got the cords coming through. For the lightning rod, quotation marks. Alright, now I need to give maybe some colors or some detailing. Well, I don't need to go through the major detailing right now. Let's get some plumbing in there. So one of the bigger things is that this has got to stretch across those rocks and output. That's going to be something I got to come across, but we're not going to deal with that now. But I do need to set up I have all this space to work on the plumbing. That's all this is going to do, is be used to work the plumbing. Part of me actually thought of using this to contain, more fluids, like bring the tank length down into here. I might consider that later, but for now, no. So it's just these. These are... Let me start with the dock itself. Because one of the main purposes is that I wanted something that was here on the ground that you could hook up hoses to and fill them up, as well as, using the gantry arms. The gantry arms were meant to stretch over so you can reach other connection points without having to stretch it all the way across the dock. And that's their primary purpose. So we need, so if the connections that are up against the dock, now we need a place to hook them up to. I'm thinking we can probably put something in between, like this bollard right here. Between these two bollards, like right here, and that will make connection points. So let me mock something up real quick and see what I can do. Okay, so this is what I came up for an input station, and we're gonna have like 3 of them across this thing, 1 in front of each tank, so you can pull up to each one. But here's the thing, like, I'm gonna have it to where there's 3 inputs max to get as much flow out of there. I'm gonna probably add additional inputs, but they're gonna be dummy inputs. These will be actual control inputs. So, and what I mean by dummy inputs, meaning they will have no pumps on them. They'll just be simple, like, flow. They'll meant to access the tanks to pull on and pull off flow, but these actually control the plumbing. So, whereas those are rudimentary inputs that will have, that you can't control other than pulling in and out from, that's about it. So, what I came up with is we have 3 manual valves here that will act as, well, emergency controls if you need to stop the flow from your craft. And remember, this is inbound only. This is your offloading only. There's going to be nothing coming back onto the craft, even though I just said I'm going to have something. This is just in case something messes up and you need to drain the tank, but you don't want to just dump it. So that's what those will be for. Now, for this, we have controls. What we have here is we have 3 switches. The first switch is going to control a bypass valve. So I'm going to have pumps in there that will be moving stuff through, but however, they will be they will have a power switch, is the one down here. Now, if you want to use your ship's pumps because you think they're better, your setup's better for that, whatever, I'm going to have a bypass switch, and this switch will bypass the pumps in the system and go straight to the tanks. Now we have 3 switches here, and this basically is you saying, I want this stuff going from this tank to this tank. So if I want whatever I'm offloading, if I want to, in this station, I want it to go to tank 1, it'll go to tank 1. If you want to go just tank 2, you can flip the switch for tank 2. And each of the dials underneath will be showing you the level of the tank. I don't have any logic hooked up yet. This is literally just what the plan is. Now, just for fun's sake and just a little bit of information, 3 of these dials here, I'm going to empty this one out so you can see, are going to show you the pressure of the intake fluid, of the flow inwards. As you can see, I've got the 3 pressure sensors right here, and each one of these will relate to these pipes. So, yeah, now, I plan to have 3 of these stations across the dock here, so that they all can be used at the same time, if you want to. So that's 9 inputs that can go, that are along the entire dock, that you can stretch in between. And you can decide where the fluid goes between each station to which tank. So that means, in order to balance it out, I'm going to need 9 inputs to the tank, 3 for each station on each tank. So that's 9 lines. 3 here, 3 there, 3 there, 9. And then I have to do that for each tank. So that's going to be what, 27 inputs, and then I got to have all the cross valves for handling that. So this is going to be fun. Let's get started. Okay, so here's what I've managed to get started with, which is going to be basic from the station straight into the tank. I'm going to hit, before I do any more, I need to make sure the tanks, I'm going to get them actually properly situated here. So, yeah, give me a moment, and then we'll work on some more of the plumbing after that. Okay, so I've got the tanks copied over. They're now equal. I believe I've got them merged in. Yes, I do. I even copied the stations, so they're now symmetrical in their thing. I do not have all the piping in for hopefully obvious reasons yet. So we still got to get everything strung up. And yeah, so now, without further ado, let's get into that said piping. Okay, so I went ahead and I'm going to be color coding the pipe so I know which one is going to be what. And what the color coding pipe is going to do is going to tell me which pipe is going to which tank. In this case, I'm going to use green for tank 3, red for tank 2, and blue for tank 1. So, and it was just coincidence that it's RGB, to be honest, because I was not planning that. I just picked 3 random colors. So, we're going to be working with that. And I got to fix a bit of the plumbing. So, all right, let me get to working more of that, and let me see if I can get each of the tanks hooked up now. Okay, so here's probably going to be the setup from the station straight to the things. So let me get this copied over and we'll get each one set up. Okay, so now the next step we're going to take is we're going to connect the inputs from station 2 out to the tanks out to those 2 tanks, because I have the red inputs there and the red inputs there, so we're going to take care of them first. And yeah, let's get to this. Now I'm color coding the valves, so they're known, but the pipe will be red leading out there, so they know which source it's coming in from. But the color of the valves will tell you which one it's supposed to be going to. Okay, so I have Station 2 hooked up. I even added up the bypass and the pumps in there. Now I just got to get to Station 2 or Station 1 and Station 3. Okay, so I now have the plumbing in place. That took a bit of work. Trying to figure out how I'm going to get everything settled around. In the end, I decided to have the two bar stations overlap their pipes over top of each other. We have their bypass system and pumping system right here. So, as you can see, yeah. So I got, like I said, I got them color coded. The valve shows where they're going, and the pipe shows where they come from, basically. And got a few missing pipes here. So we got that all color coded. The next thing I'm going to work on is I need to get the gantry set up. And that's going to be a bit of a fun one. Yeah. I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and leave it off for today. So let's take a good look at it. Spawn it in and check it out. Okay, so managed to get the dock out here. We got the boat hooked up. Took time, and every station is hooked up to the boat in some manner. And the boat is currently in the mode of dumping its fluid off, so we're going to give that a test. And let's make sure how these systems work like they're supposed to. Alright, so we're over here by tanking. Like I said, the boat should be in complete output mode, so... And we got all these are open. Alright, and... let's do the bypass first. And the tanks are filling. Wow, tank 3's really rocking and rolling there. Okay. So this works. So we're gonna, turn off the bypass. Now that was the bypass for the ships. Okay, so the ship's still trying, so we're going to now turn on the pumps. And it's more even flow. Okay. I'm assuming 3 got filled up more because it was... Alright, so we're going to turn that off. Turn that on. 1. Okay, now let's see how fast we can dump this. Now we got 100,000 liters on this thing, and yeah, let's see how fast it empties. Now it's 117 technically, and we put about 6,000 in there, so yeah, it's gonna be working about. Main pump system's going, and we got pumps on the deck that are going, so, and we can get the overall total by going up to the cockpit. Okay, that took a little over 8 minutes to unload all that. At least off the first
first guess. That's not what I'm saying. Is the official term yet? I'll put it up here in a moment once I figure it out. So, but yeah, it looks like everything works. Okay, so I tallied it up, did a bit of rough calculations. So roughly I did about 100,000 liters in 11 minutes, which turns out to be about 9,000 liters per minute. 9,000 and some change per minute. So yeah, the system working out. And I think I actually hooked some of the hoses up wrong, so I actually could have been faster, possibly. But for the most part, I'm happy with how it came out so far. We did 100,000 liters. That boat in about just over 10 minutes. Normally, filling it up at the stations is like an hour and a half. So that is a big improvement to be able to just dump it into these tanks. And we ended up with a split of, we got 40,000 there. I am rounding up. 31 there. And 45 there. And I think that does help. I think that is along with things I might have missed hooking stuff up. So, yeah. Anyways, so I'm Arcades. I do stream Stormworks every other Sunday as Arcades Test on twitch.tv. Feel free to join me there. I'll have links for my Discord and such also in the description. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed what you watched. Hope you like what you saw. Like, subscribe, all that fun junk. And it helps me out on the channel. Anyways, hope you had a good time. This is Arcades, signing out. Have yourself a good day. Okay, so I've got the tanks copied over. They're now equal. I believe I've got them merged in. Yes, I do. I even copied the stations. So they're now symmetrical in their thing. I do not have all the piping in for hopefully obvious reasons yet. So we still got to get everything strung up. And yeah, so now, without further ado, let's get into that said piping.